Hello, everyone. The Nigerian military has come out to say that they have neutralized terrorist troops and all of that, can't stop them. But the thing is that Nigerians don't really believe them because they feel, oh, all of a sudden, the United States of America says they have put Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and the next thing, the military is coming out to say one thing or another. There's even Onanuga who came out to say that, oh, that Tinubu was ahead of what US is going to do, and so they put out, he had already reorganized the military. All of this while you were silent, you weren't talking. Even when we said that there were a lot of, locations that were under terrorists, you denied it. You said no such things, were happening. And then now, all of a sudden, you suddenly have this whole thing that you said, is going on. But anyway, Sha, let's look at what the Nigerian army had to say and also the response from the citizens of Nigeria. This is a press release, and this release was put out, let me tell you, yesterday on the 1st of November 2025. It says press release, and it's on the Twitter handle now known as X of Nigerian Army at HQ Nigerian Army. It says troops of Operation Hardenkai neutralize terrorists, secure key locations in Northeast. Troops of Operation Hardenkai (OPHK) Joint Task Force Northeast have successfully thwarted multiple terrorist attacks and neutralized key threats in the northeast of Nigeria between October 25th and October 31st, 2025. The attacks, which occurred across several locations in Borno and Adamawa states, included an attempted suicide bombing in Kukawa, an ambush in the Goza Lemankara area, and the interception of terrorist logistics networks. It is important to say that troops have stood firm, executed swift responses, and thwarted enemy advances, all while safeguarding civilians and maintaining operational efficiency. On October 25th, troops fought terrorist attempt to force their way into Kukawa town using a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device VBIED. The troops engaged the VBIED with RPG fire, which bounced off its armored surface. The vehicle was eventually neutralized by a T-55 tank, preventing a catastrophic attack. The attackers fled after sustained fire. A 10-year-old civilian girl sustained minor injuries and was treated at the medical facilities. So the first thing that I hear in all of these things, right, this conversation and this whole all of a sudden there's fine, kudos to the military, we always support our militaries, and but not propaganda but reaction that it's being done, and the fact that soldiers will be taken care of. Remember also the few days ago there was such a video of soldiers that were heavily under attack, by terrorists who were coming, who were attacking them, and what some of them were even making calls to their families to say, look, they are under attack in case you don't hear from us anymore. Propaganda doesn't win war, and we will always support our military. If our military loses, we lose. Yeah, we lose. If our military loses, we lose. But the thing is that most times the military and also other security agencies, instead of their allegiance to be to the Constitution and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it's always to the president and the ruling party, even an illegitimate president. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be, safeguarding the territorial integrity of Nigeria. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't get to see that relationship between the military and civilians that should be encouraged, because you need it to be able to win this war. You need it to win this part, this war that is going on. You find a situation whereby the military are also coming after civilians in the manner they did. There's no trust. You can't share anything with them. Most times in the war against insurgency, Intelligence gathering is the number one, and there's no how you're going to gather intelligence if there's no trust between the civilian and the military and other security agents, because they are the ones that will feed you information. They're the ones that will tell you, hey, this is what is happening, this is what they see. And especially in our case where we have militaries are transferred from place to place within the region, you are not familiar with the region, you don't even understand the language, they don't understand you. You need to build a trust with the people, because they are the ones who understand the nuances of their place. They know who is who. Literally, if you go to communities, they know who are the thieves in the community, who are the armed robbers, who are the whatever. They know within them. And so by getting those information, you'll be able to do better. It's not that on the pages and all of that, just the propaganda that will keep coming out. We do pray and hope, and God be with all our military as they continue to do with this fight, and for them also to really take care of the needs of their soldiers. Soldiers are complaining of not having food. That should not be the case. Soldiers are complaining that they have not been paid their allowances, their salaries, and all of that. That should not be the case for people who are at war and are putting their lives on the line to protect us. I have my sympathy always will always be soldiers on the field, not the ones who are there who have turned this war to a profit for them. Let me continue with the statement. It says troops in cooperation with the Civilian Joint Task Force, CJTF, discovered and safely disposed of 3 improvised explosive devices, IEDs, in the Dekwa Ajiri axis and surrounding areas, averting potential sabotage of major supply routes. On October 29, troops of 192 Battalion Main, in collaboration with CJTF, carried out an ambush operation which neutralized 2 terrorists, forcing others to flee into Mandara Mountains. Items recovered confirmed the continued use of bicycles and food supplies by terrorists in the area. In thinking about this also, I would also like to add, what about the situation of repentant terrorists? If you're talking about sabotage, I don't see any reason that someone will carry repentant terrorists and put them in your military for them to know what is happening, and some of them feed information to their people. I mean, the terrorists, I'm sure, will be smart enough to send their own spies as repentant military and get them infiltrate the camp of our as repentant terrorists, and then get them to infiltrate the camps of our military and continue to do all the things that they're doing. Going back to the statement, it says, in a night ambush operation, troops of 202 Battalion, in conjunction with 10 members of the volunteer force, on October 30, 2025, successfully engaged terrorists attempting to cross from the Gezua axis towards Sambisa Forest along the Bama-Konduga main supply route. The ambush team opened fire on the insurgents, forcing them to flee in disarray. In a separate anti-smuggling operation under Operation Strangulation, a troop of 232 Battalion Tactical on October 29 intercepted a drum of premium motor spirit, PMS, and 2 motorcycles used for illegal conveyance of the product at Feeling Ball and Sebore in Mobile South local government area of Adamawa State. The smugglers abandoned the items and fled upon sighting the troops. The products are in custody for further investigation. Similarly, in a cordon and search operation conducted on October 30, following a credible intelligence on plans by Boko Haram, ISWAP terrorists to infiltrate Sabongari village in Madagali local government area of Adamawa State, troops of 144 Battalion and Sector 4 Special Forces, in collaboration with hybrid forces and local hunters, arrested 5 suspects. Those arrested included Musa Mohammed, 38, Gambo Musa, 17, Malam Mohammed, 17, Abud Enjuma, 27, and Umar Bana, 26. A pair of desert, a camouflage uniform, and 1 round of 7.62 mm times 54 ammunition were found in possession of Umar Bana, while 50 rounds of India hemp were recovered from an abandoned hut in the area. Preliminary investigations are ongoing. Throughout these operations, the Air Component Command of OPHK provided critical air support, conducting precision strikes and enhancing battlefield awareness with ISR assets. These joint efforts ensured the neutralization of several terrorists, the recovery of significant weapons, and the seizure of key logistics materials. A follow-up exploitation conducted in the early hours of October 31 within a 3-kilometer radius towards the Sambisa forest led to the discovery of one terrorist corpse, one AK-47 rifle with a magazine containing 8 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 90 rounds of 7.62 mm times 54 mm linked ammunition, and 4 bicycles. No casualty was reported on the part of our troops. Read more on Facebook, and then they put out, their Facebook info. And that's the thing about the beauty about social media. I mean, information can be passed. We hope that our military are able to go against these terrorists and annihilate them, defeat them. We pray with our military, we stand with our military, and what we want is for them to keep, to have that political will to end this, to have that political will to end this war, and not just allow themselves to be used by people anyhow. They must also look inward into themselves. Who are the people who don't want this war to end? Can we get them prosecuted? And can we, Nigeria can win this war? I believe in our military, I believe in our soldiers, but what we've had always is the fact that there's no political will. Hope this time that would change. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.